Hello everyone, this is Valerie with Old Valley Quilt Shop, here to go over Modas Stitch Pink Block 15. We'll start off with our cutting directions. This is called Tweet Tweet, so we will be cutting all these lovely half square triangles. I have a preferred method for me, so we'll go with that. The first thing that we need to do is cut our background fabric. I have these in reverse order here. I prefer to do these 4 at a time, my half square triangles. And what I mean by that is by taking a 4-inch block and another 4-inch block, I can draw a diagonal line from each corner twice, and I can sew a scant 1/4 inch from either side of that line in both directions, and then cut them, and I should have 4 half square triangles of each color. So I am going to cut 4-inch squares for mine. We need 25 of the white squares because we need 50 total triangles. I am going to do 7 4 at a time, so it should be 28, so I'll have a few extras. I'm okay with that. If you prefer to do the 2 at a time, you can follow exactly their directions and do the 2/3 H squares. And just instead of cutting them diagonally, use the same method I am, but only only draw 1 line from corner to corner and then sew close to that and then cut, instead of 2 diagonal lines. So I'm just going to cut all of mine at 4 inches. So I need to trim this up. I need 7 of the white squares, my background. And then I need 5 from each of these colors. So here is my number 10, which is the dark red Moda grunge. Then my number 1, which is the super light pink grunge. And then my number 9, which is this red, it's from the Juniper line. And this bright dark pink, which is from a chalk and charcoal fuchsia is what it's called. And then my number 2, which is also a Moda. So I need 4-inch squares from each of them. The ones above, I only need, we need 10 squares total. So 4 at a time. If I do 3 each of these, then we'll end up with 12. So again, I'll have a few extra blocks, but I'm sure I can find a place for them somewhere. First, this looks like I might need to trim it from its I'm not sure, but I just want to make sure it's 4 inches. And it is. There's a little extra there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack again these. This is 4.5. That's why I find it odd. Even when you think you're doing it right, you do it wrong. I do that sometimes. I'm sure glad it's bigger and not smaller. That would be a much bigger problem. Okay. So now I have this 4-inch strip. Another 4-inch strip. Again, I need 3 of each of these colors. The 2 at a time works just perfectly fine too. It just all is on your preference. I will end up using more fabric the way I'm doing it, because I'll end up with some extra, 2 extra squares of, so I'll use a little extra. I'm again okay with that. I'm just putting right sides together with my white, a color, so that they're all ready for me to mark on actually. Sorry, I had to move this over. Okay, there's 3 of that one. Okay, so there's some are my white. I think these are shorter pieces, so I have to use more in one piece. There's 1. 2. Oops. This strip was a little long too. Or a little wide, I should say. Yep, I think this strip is 4 1/4. Again, I'm just stacking these right sides together so they're just done and ready for me. One. And then one more color. One. Two. All right, so I have 3 of all of them, and just to show you when we get over there to piecing the other side of the room, I'm going to do one of these 2 3/8 blocks just to show you the same thing. I'll show you the 2, my preferred method of 2 at a time. So I'll bring this one over there as well. Then we have the last of the directions for cutting. Tell us to do 2 11" by 1 1/4 and 2 12.5" by 1 1/4" strips. I need another strip. So these are 1 1/4" strips, and I need 2 11s. Just 2 11s. And this by no means is straight. These need to be 12.5. I'm going to get this the right length first, and then I'll trim it. To 1 1/4. Sorry, I'm getting you out of frame, aren't I? Apologize. So there's my 2 12.5 by 1 1/4 and 11 by 1 1/4. And these are for the outsides to border your piece and make them a 12.5" strip. So this is when they do this, is a good time. If for some reason yours it ends up a little smaller or bigger, you can make it up in the border strip if you need to. So let's move from cutting to the sewing machine. Actually, quickly, to go over that again, I'll get all these done. I just won't do them all. We'll sew these in a minute. I'm using the heat pen friction, so when I iron it, the line will disappear. And on these 4 at a time, I'm going to have 2 lines. So then we'll sew on a 1/4 inch of either of those. So I'm going to do that to all of my pieces. And on this piece, whoops. This is if you want to do them 2 at a time, you do the same thing. Just a scant 1/4 inch on either side, and then cut them down the center, and I'll show you that shortly. So let's get moving. See you in a minute. Hello everyone, welcome back. We are going to do this piecing part of Modas Stitch Pink, Block 15, Tweet Tweet. Okay, so just in case I don't get this cut out, I will talk about my directions. I realized after I got off the video that my directions to do the line across these 4-inch squares gave you 8 at a time half square triangles. I was not thinking, it must have been late. So really we needed, they were a little bit too small too. So change your cuts to 3.5-inch cuts for each of these pieces. And then go around the edge, all 4 sides, 1/4 inch or a scant 1/4 inch around on all your pieces. And then you'll take your ruler from corner to corner and cut diagonally both ways. So you're doing what they tell you to do, kind of. So we have some 2-inch or a little more than 2-inch square. Just realized I stopped recording, so I hope I got what I needed out of that. I'm sorry. So if you make sure you trim all these, talking to myself here, is trim all these to 2 inches. I got all mine done. You will have some extras, which is fine. You can make a pillow or some other fun project, maybe a little bag for your sewing table, or add them to the back. That's always fun. Like adding the stray pieces to the back of the quilt. So again, get them all squared up, even the extras, because then they're just done. And I'm really sorry, I'm not sure what I missed. I won't be till I'm done. So again, I laid mine whole out according to the diagram. And you will sew these row by row. So you will take these 2 pieces, sew them together. Take these 2 pieces, sew them together. And so if you take these on a project board and just take them to your sewing machine, and then get the rows just like it shows here. Do the rows first. And you will want each row to press separate dip. So if I've taken the bottom row, press them towards the color, and then the next row towards the white, and the next row towards the color, next row towards the white. That way you can, when you start doing the rows together, you can nest the seams. One thing I like to do, just in case you don't have a project board, or even if you do, sometimes I like to just make sure I'll put them in pairs, put a pin on the side I want to sew. So maybe my project board is 12 inches and not 12.5, so they don't fit very well. So again, pin the side. So that way I can take this project board with multiples. And do more than one row without coming back to my cutting table or whatever. I do this on my project wall too, for the whole quilt. So see, I'll be able to get quite a few of these rows and bring them over there. So I'm going to finish this up and then I will be back with the rows. See you soon. Okay, I got my rows done. So, and I have them all in the right order. Yay. Yay me. So again, I really like to just pin the side that I want to sew so I don't mess that up. And I would stack these on my project board or just stack them. And this is the last one. So then I have them all done. I will sew those together. Again, you should have pressed in both directions. So you'll just want to nest those seams. I'll get that done and I will be right back. Alrighty, I got all my pieces put together. And now I just need to, I also squared up my square to be 11 inches as per directions. So now I will stitch these 11-inch pieces on the side. And then when I'm done with those, I'll press them the other direction and towards the white, just to get rid of some of the bulk. And then I'll put these 12.5-inch strips on either side. Then you should have a square 12.5-inch block. So I will be back shortly. All right, there you go. There is my block 15. Tweet, tweet. Moda Stitch Pink. Alrighty. Just one more day and I can make my row 3. Get them all put together. So thank you for joining me. We will see you tomorrow.